everyone, how are all of you doing? I'm going to give you my personal insight of the new MacBook Pro 2017 without the touch bar. So you see, we have our good old Surface Pro 3 here lying around, but my sister told me this doesn't get the job done anymore. That's why she wanted to buy a new laptop, whether it will be a MacBook or a Windows machine. Let's go find out. So I offered her my Surface Book, but she said it was too heavy to bring to cafes and restaurants. She also wanted a powerful laptop that can make and edit video blogs and be her constant companion in her online business. We also have two dilemmas. One, if whether she wanted a new Windows machine equivalent of the MacBook Pro, like the Asus ZenBook, which has almost the same price, but we were thinking of the longevity and the quality of the laptop we wanted. Sure, the ZenBook has far greater specs, but the allure of a Mac machine was really a siren call for us, so we chose a MacBook. And here is another dilemma. What will we like, the new MacBook Air 2018 or the MacBook Pro 2017? And I am doubly sure that the current Mac machine would always be better, but I was far wrong. So we went to our nearby MacBook reseller, and mind you, there are no Apple Store in the Philippines, only resellers. And we went to our local Switch Apple Store to ask for a Mac. We also asked the store clerk which was better, the 2018 MacBook Air or the 2017 non-touch MacBook Pro. He told us that it was the Pro because it has a better media graphics, the Intel Iris Plus graphics, and while the new MacBook Air 2018 only has the proprietary Intel UHD graphics 617. You do the math. And the MacBook Pro will be better in productivity like vlogging, etc. And that, ladies and gentlemen, we are already sold on the MacBook Pro 2017 mainly because it has a better graphics processor. And we were able to buy this at a 0% installment. And make sure to ask what bank is offering this incredible deal, because we would want to pay this not in cash because we are not that rich. Okay, so let's open it up. So this is my new MacBook Pro. It looks so gorgeous, and let's compare it with my 2-year-old Surface Book. See, the MacBook Pro is not only thinner, but also smaller than the Surface Book. It is also lighter than the Surface, so if you have a smaller physique, you have to be strong enough to carry the Surface. The MacBook will be portable from the two. See, MacBook is a lot lighter than the Surface Book. Let's talk about the metal. The aluminum frame of the Mac really feels smooth to the touch. It gives a stone cold feel. I also wish they made this Mac 100% recycled aluminum just like the 2018 MacBook Air, so we can also feel environmentally conscious. Let's check the ports. This has two USB-C Type 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports and support for high-speed data transfers. On the other side is the headphone jack. As we open the lid, there are stereo speakers on the left and right of the keyboard. There is a backlit keyboard with ambient light sensors and a FaceTime HD camera. Even if it is not fair for the Surface Book, let's try to power them both. In 3, 2, 1. As you can see, they're almost near with the Surface coming in first, but the Mac just following a few seconds behind. And mind you, the Surface has a Windows Hello, and it instantaneously unlocked with just my face. While the Mac, given that this is a non-touch bar and there's no fingerprint reader that doubles as the power button, you have to unlock this laptop by your passcode. And the screen is minimal. With the Surface Book, a wider screen than the Mac, but the minimal borders in the Mac makes the screen more immersive than the Surface. Next up is the keyboard. I have to admit, Apple is a type of company that's always thinking forward. You may not need this kind of keyboard, but Apple is already giving this to you ahead of its time. Maybe they thought that typing in an island-type chiclet keyboard can cause a lot of strains on your fingertips and carpal bones, which is why they made it shallower, with an improved butterfly keyboard. The last butterfly keyboard found on the MacBook 12-inch has an in-seated dirt problem which makes some of the keys unresponsive. But with the second generation, there's a thin film surrounding the keyboard which is to protect the butterfly mechanism from getting stuck. Well, the result? Well, it's a love and hate relationship. Mostly on my first try, it is cumbersome to type. It's like drumming your fingertips on a hard surface. But only time will tell if this will be the future of the keyboard. And for the Surface Book, the island type or chiclet type of keyboard is really a joy to type. The keyboards are responsive and it has more depth when pressing the keys, which makes it one of my favorite keyboards from the Surface family. So let's try opening an application for Word just to check for typing. The Mac came first while the Surface a few seconds behind. Let's try typing a few words for the MacBook keyboard. Typing is a bit shallower, so it's like drumming your fingers on a hard surface. While on the Surface, you can pinch the screen and typing is a joy because it has more depth when typing, so you can see the press and you can actually feel it. Talk about the elephant in the room, the trackpad. The trackpad is ginormous. It's like they wanted to make your hands lazy by giving us this big space to touch it. It's made of glass. Did you know that this trackpad does not have a physical click? It's not clicking. I even tried it while it shut off. Apple has been fooling with their fingertip sensations. Technically, there's a vibrating motor under the trackpad that vibrates when we touch it. Just like in the iPhone 6s Plus up to the present. They call it Force Touch. Maybe then Apple got tired of being a Jedi, so they renamed it as a 3D Touch. Well then, this one is really forward thinking. Since they cannot install a touchscreen, they gave us a large trackpad as a consolation. While on the Surface, you get a smaller trackpad, but it is compensated by the fact that you can actually touch the screen. Wow! And you know what? You can even detach the screen, just like the Surface Pro family. Ta-da! The base keyboard does not only serve as a base, but there is a graphics card and an additional battery, apparently giving the Surface Book a 17-hour battery life against the max 10 to 12 hours. Most complete laptops I ever encountered is the Mac laptops, because from the moment you set it up, there are tons of productivity apps that you can actually use, like this, the iMovie, an equivalent of a premium movie maker, GarageBand, Pages, Numbers, and Keynotes. The one I like well is the photo booth. Well, I was just wondering, please correct me, why is there no Windows equivalent of this photo booth app? Don't get me wrong, I'm not a selfie person, but look at this tons of effect. They even have a backdrop effect in which you can change the background color at your back, pretending you're in another country or in another world. It became a problem for me because since I am deeply ingrained with Microsoft Office, we have to pay for the sticker price of 12,000 pesos just to have these programs installed here. In the Surface side, we also bought our Microsoft Office but for a lesser price. I also like the motions, the animations in the Mac, while on the Surface is still smooth, but the dedication of Apple to constantly merge their hardware and software to interact flawlessly makes it a joy to use. Then we can also note that in a Windows machine, you have to install dozens of antivirus, update it regularly for it to be protected, but on the Mac, you simply have to update it regularly. Sure, there are no virus in a Mac machine, but there are bugs. At last but not the least, Macs are known for the longevity of their life. 5 years to be exact, and still can compete toe-to-toe with the latest machines. But a Windows machine, however I love it, only has 2 to 3 years before you need to buy another one. All in all, I hate to say it, but the Windows machine gets a job done, but the MacBook gets a job incredibly and stylishly well. So if you want more of these kinds of videos, click like and hit subscribe. Thank you!